Hey, this is Gilly Woodhouse on the Osteo Business Podcast, talking all things osteo business. Here's Gilly Woodhouse, an author, speaker, award-winning business coach, and passionate advocate of osteopathy.
Well, hello and welcome back to my very good friend, Tim Allardyce. How are you, Tim?
Good morning, Gilly. How are you? Thanks for inviting me on your podcast again. It's lovely to be here. Have I been on your podcast before? Or do we just do this live chat on Facebook?
Yeah, you're on the podcast as well. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for asking me back then. It's lovely to catch up with you and have a chat.
Yeah, pleasure. Good. Ditto. Love catching up with you and chewing the cud a bit for a while. And
yeah, have you got your coffee? Because I've got my my sort of smoothie here, my green nettle smoothie. You got your coffee, great.
Yeah,
So we love a little coffee
I do
catch
love
up, don't we?
Yes, it's not a little Guinness, although it looks like one.
Yeah.
I might tease my Irish friends about that later because I'm zooming into the Irish Osteopathic Society to do some marketing training with them, and a lot have signed up, so I'm really thrilled about that. So that'll be great. We'll have some great interaction, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good. Marketing's interesting. I mean, how busy are clinics at the moment in osteopathy?
Yeah, I think there's a few sort of saying then it's January, it's not very busy. They tend to expect it to be like that, which is it's a bit dodgy because if I think if you sort of expect that, that's often what you'll get. So I expect that January is always my busiest month of the year, and it always is.
We've noticed a bit of a drop off in January. I'm surprised that
Really?
we've seen gappy diaries this month. It's definitely been a little bit sporadic, and I think probably many people are finding that.
Mm. So we have to crank up the marketing then in that case.
Well, I'm really pleased you're speaking to the Irish Society later because your necklace is going to match, is going to be perfect for the meeting.
Thank you. If you're on the podcast, it's an emerald green.
Oh yes, good point. This is on a podcast, isn't it? It's not actually videoed, is it?
Well, I'll pop it on YouTube as well. Why not?
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's critical to ramp up that marketing when the numbers start to show that they're drifting off a bit. And yeah, encourage people to come in. And still, I mean, I've been doing this 12 years now, and still, the critical thing around osteopathy is people just not understanding what it is or why they would go for treatment. And it's such a shame, you know, I've put a lot of energy and a lot of chunk of my life now into teaching marketing and clinic growth generally. And still, you know, the general public haven't really grasped, although you know, we must have made a dent at least.
Yeah, I think people that go and see an osteopath know about it and understand it, but a lot of people don't. I think physio is first thing on people's minds if they get an
Yeah,
injury or they have surgery. And when they think rehabilitation, they think physiotherapy. So I think that osteopathy is always sort of a much smaller sister. But we need to do more promotion and we need more osteopaths.
yeah,
And that's a factor. You know, I think I'm not sure whether we're a declining profession right now. I know we did start to tipple into decline, but it might have stabilized. But you know, from what I can understand, there are more people retiring and coming off the register
yeah,
and saying to themselves, do I need to be registered? I could just practice as a manual therapist
mm,
or something similar. Which is a little bit of a shame, and I think that's something that collectively we have to sort of start to address with the General Osteopathic Council and others.
yeah. I agree because it'd be a terrible shame because it's incredible, you know, the work that you all do. Is you know, I obviously I'm talking to clients all the time, and you know, they're constantly telling me stories about how someone's been in pain for X number of years and suddenly, 2 or 3 treatments and they're sometimes even one, and they're like, oh my God, I'm pain free after 10 years or something. I hear that all the time. And it's just like people have just got to try, just to see if it'll help.
One of the things we did recently was we offered a £25 Amazon gift voucher if our patients would send in a case study. So
Ah,
every year they get a happy birthday email, and we put a little line in there saying, would you contribute a case study, which we could put on our website? We've had about 25 of them come through now.
nice.
And there's things that come through are just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like people have said some incredible things, like, I had one that, the old, you know, changed my life, the treatment changed my life. And
Yeah.
so, we've had some amazing case studies coming through. So yeah, it really does help.
It does, yeah. I just find it incredible. And for me, um, being the wrong side of menopause, I find myself. I certainly find a monthly tune-up, or an MOT is perfect. I'm going on Friday, and I just go every month, and I'm tickety-boo. I've got nothing going on. I don't take any pills and potions. I'm absolutely in fine fettle. I
Well,
put a lot of it down to that.
back in the day, we used to have a thing called a GOT, or general osteopathic treatment, and it was really popular. And I'm not sure they still teach it to students these days,
Ah,
but we learned it about 25 years ago. And it was where you'd have an older patient, and you'd go from top to bottom, if you like, or bottom to top. You'd wiggle the toes and wiggle the feet and mobilize the ankles, then mobilize the knees and get the hips and give them a wiggle around, and then lie them on their tummy and mobilize the back, and do a bit of rocking, and then get the shoulders and loosen them up, you know, do a bit of rib pumping and stretch the neck a little bit. And it was called a general osteopathic treatment. And it's amazing. And it's so popular with patients. I sometimes have patients come in and they have it done. Sometimes they're chronic pain patients, or older patients that are just a bit arthritic. And they get this sort of whole body loosen up, 30 minutes. And it's so, so, so useful.
yeah, very beneficial.
Yeah,
Really.
it's definitely something I'd like to have done when I'm a little bit older. Just going once a month,
Yeah.
get it done. And also, some osteopaths are a little bit cautious about asking patients to come back in. And we never
Mm,
do as a clinic. We never say come back in and get regular treatment. But when a patient says it, if it's on their terms and it's their decision making and they feel benefit from it, and that's how they want to spend their money, no problem. Because if
yeah.
they get benefit and they want to come in and see us once a month, we won't say no, don't do that, unless it's really not going to help them.
Mm,
But we'll say, yeah, if it's on your terms and your choice and that's what you want to do, then no problem. And we've got a fair few patients that do. They'll see us once a month, um, and get benefit from it and want to do that and keep their bodies in check, or their mobility done, sorted.
yeah. And I think there's no harm in offering that either. As from I always come from the patient's point of view. Um,
Mm,
offer that to me and just say you might find this helpful if you came in every month, every couple of months.
mm,
Just make sure that you don't slide back into any issues or pain that you've had in the past. I think that's still an ethical thing to offer,
mm,
because people probably wouldn't think that that would be helpful, that to sort of keep things moving and feeling great, so that they didn't end up in pain for some reason. And I'll just say to Anne, she'll say, anything in particular, and I'll go, oh, my knee's been a bit funny this week. Just going down the stairs, it was not happy. I wasn't in pain. It just didn't feel quite right. Wiggle, wiggle, little bit of treatment, and she
yeah,
generally check me over, and off I go.
yeah.
And I'm like, yep, fine. That's much better down the stairs now.
I think if more people got a general treatment or a checkup regularly, I think it's just so beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. I missed one because I had I woke up with a D&V the day I was going, so I messaged her and said, "You don't want me in your clinic today," and
Mm.
And then I just, well, one reason or another, I just didn't get round to rebooking, and it drifted into 3 months. And I was like, right, I'm putting a big note on my screen. So first thing in the morning, I'm going to message her, because guess what? I always remembered at like 11 o'clock at night, and I have to message her to get an appointment. So um, I kept thinking, I can't message her at 11, she'll kill me.
Yes, we have a follow-up system in our practice management software that
Yeah.
is our bespoke software that will actually follow up patients after their last appointment if they haven't rebooked.
Yeah, exactly, Tim. I like to put that in as part of the clinic foundations I do with
Mm,
clinics. I find that most clinics never ever keep in touch with their patient list, and that's
correct.
business suicide.
Yeah.
And
It's because
and
people, what it is, we feel like, oh, what if they didn't improve with my treatment? Oh, what if they didn't like me? Or what if they
Mm,
didn't get better? Oh, I'd feel a bit bad if I contacted them and maybe I'm spamming them as well. And no, 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 you're not. Actually, you
mm,
probably did help them. And they,
yeah,
and yeah, okay, maybe some patients you didn't, but a lot of patients you would have helped, and actually they want to come back and see you. And if you're in their mind or something happens to them, and you recently emailed them, they'll think of coming to you first.
exactly, exactly. And nearly every clinic owner that I work with will say, "Oh, I don't want to annoy them. I don't
Yeah,
want to pester them." That's
yeah,
the two words, annoy or pester, that I hear all the time. And I'm like, you won't. We, the patient, will be delighted that you bothered to get back in touch with us.
yeah.
And
So
you
it's
know,
really interesting. I've been chatting to Kay,
hmm,
who you know well, Gilly, and for those listening, Kay's my wonderful wife, who's an osteopath as well. But
fabulous.
we took over a Pilates clinic. 'Cause Kay's a Pilates instructor, so we run a Pilates studio, doing reformer Pilates, and
Hmm,
their level of marketing is a notch above. I mean, for example, on what she has you, if you abandon a checkout because everything's online, if you abandon a checkout, you go into an abandoned checkout SMS
yeah,
process.
yeah,
If you click a lead on the Facebook ad, you go into another funnel where you get another email set of emails and SMSs, and it's this whole like try, and it's almost like just in Pilates, it's like bombard them until they just unsubscribe.
yeah. Or give in and sign up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I can sense the horror on the other side of this video or
yeah.
podcast.
It's very unosteopathic,
Oh
and
God, yeah.
the reason is because osteopaths are not salespeople.
No, no, no.
Yeah, and so we feel guilty about promoting ourselves or pushing ourselves, and I do too. I feel I don't do it as much as I should because it doesn't come naturally to us as
No.
healthcare practitioners.
That's why I like to automate this sort of thing, because then you don't have to know that you just messaged somebody and said, oh, hi, don't forget about us. Any niggling.
Mm,
I always do it really, really, really gently, because I know anything else is going to make your skin crawl. And
mm,
it wouldn't mine as well. I mean, I come from the same kind of thinking as you. That's why I'm working with so many of you. Um, and that is just gently, tap, tap, tap gently, and you're not annoying, not 100 contacts per day like you've just been describing, because it just doesn't fit. But a gentle email or getting in touch now
yeah,
and again, especially when it's automated, when you don't have to do anything, it's a game changer. I mean, one of my big clients that's with me at the moment, I talked him through all of this and how I set it all up. And at the end of it, he said, he's got 4 clinics. At the end of it, he said, do you know what? You've just given me 15 fantastic points to work on over the next 6 months. And he said, but the first six are genius. I was like, whoa.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
literally because I'm saying all those people on your list
Yeah.
never heard from you ever again.
No.
And you bump into them by the frozen peas in Waitrose, and they say, oh, I had a problem with my ankle, so I went to the physio, and they've gone somewhere else,
Yeah,
and they
they
would
do.
have come back to you. They've forgotten about you. I tell
Mm,
this story all the time. Liz, my osteo colleague, um, she's been through my processes with me in the past. She's been with me for years, and now she's my colleague as well. And she keeps in touch with her list, of course, because she's been trained. And she had a headache case, a cluster headache case, 3 years ago. Hadn't seen the patient again, and of course you don't know if they've moved away or they never have another problem ever again. But often, as human bodies, we do get something else going on, or we have an accident or something. Anyway, she emailed this particular Sunday night when the cluster headache lady was sitting at her laptop in agony because it had happened again. And she opened the email and she went, "Oh yeah, Liz. Liz helped me with that last time 3 years ago." So she was obviously so befuddled with the pain she was in, she couldn't even remember who actually helped her. And I find that extraordinary because, I can't imagine how painful cluster headaches must be. But she couldn't remember who she went to or who helped her. And just like that, "Hi, it's Liz. Hope you're well. This is something new happening in the clinic," or, "It's icy out there. Take care." And there's also people coming in with injuries as a result, or whatever it is. Just a little gentle tap, a little bit of info, nothing much. That brought that patient back round again, and Liz was able to help her again. Otherwise, she would have gone round perhaps the hamster wheel of try this, try that, try something else, go back to the GP, ask a mate. It's just I was so thrilled that that's a brilliant example of how those patients will come back if only you kept in touch with them. And flipping heck, let's systemize it. This has really been on my mind since New Year, really, is that most clinics have got no foundational systems going on. They may or may not have a booking system, but that's it. And that's what the first thing I put into a clinic. This client I was talking about, first thing we've spent over a month working with him, upgrading his systems, and that's why he said it was genius, because he's like, "Oh yeah, maybe they will."
Because so much more can be automated these days.
Yeah, and I think a lot of clinic owners. I mean, again, things I hear all the time. I'm a Luddite. I'm a technophobe. I'm a dinosaur. Is things I hear all the time. And sure, that's generally not the leaning most of you have got. Obviously, you're quite techie, but a lot aren't, because the magic hands, I think, is the thing. That ability is the thing they've got. That's their genius. But actually, what I do find is once they stop being so fearful about it, and we work with them, and I've got Osteo Sam on my team as well, who's very techie, and she takes them through and builds this up with them and shows them and helps them to understand it. And then they're like, "Oh, this is really easy. That's great. This is fantastic. Let me look at my dashboard and see what's been going on." And suddenly, they feel so much more in control again of the clinic, and it saves them a whole load of time, all that running around, texting people back and doing all sorts of things. I'm just like, everyone thinks I'm just marketing, but actually my brain works in systems. I'm like, how can we streamline that?
Yes. It's such a big thing. Automation is massive. It's coming in a big way. We're already seeing it. I've hired automation experts and automation tech guys to automate processes that we do. And it might just be something an admin does for 30 seconds a day. But if that could be automated, you save that 30 seconds a day, but that mounts up across your team. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, we are automating so much. I mean, we've got this big development coming up, which you know about, as we chatted about it, on Rehab My Patient, which is an automation process, which we're going to meet up again, and I'm going to talk to you about. But I just want to dangle that carrot and say it's going to be a game changer for Rehab My Patient users. I mean, it's going to save so much time. experienced practitioners may not use it so much, but certainly students and newer practitioners are going to absolutely love it. It's going to
Or
be save so much time. It's a super automation process that we've got going. I can't disclose it too much, but I'd say, within a month we're going to have launched it, and hopefully we can push it out on Osteopathy Works and with your network, Gilly, your
absolutely.
clinics,
I
and
love
um, and,
that.
and tell everybody about it. Rehab My Patient is now used in, I think, all the major universities that train osteopaths. So we're now finally in the UCO. And if anyone's listening from UCO hasn't got access, please reach out to us, support@rehabmypatient.com. We're finding UCO because we've been in the chiropractic clinic teaching university in Bournemouth for a while now,
Oh, yeah.
and the HSU took over the UCO, or merged, or whatever they did. So that now means that Rehab My Patients is now going to be used, or is now used on the London campus, I think they call it, of HSU, which was the former UCO or BSO.
Yeah.
And then we're in BCNO and ESO and LSO and Swansea as well, and some of the others.
Yeah, well, it's a brilliant system, and I advise every single client of mine to add it in if they haven't already got it.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it links well with Clinico and
exactly.
some other practice management softwares as well.
Yeah, it does.
Um,
It's seamless.
yeah,
And once I go through, how quick and easy it is for them and how it's all, it's sort of preloaded basically. You just select
yeah,
and send, and it's
yeah.
job done.
So easy. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
easy.
And I love the fact, Tim, that it puts that information on their notes, on their
Yes,
clinico notes or their practice management notes.
yes,
Because then if another practitioner does happen to see that patient, then they can see immediately what's gone
yeah,
before without
yeah,
having to go log in, blah, 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 look it all up. It's all there
yeah.
in one place. And I think that's, really genius.
And it's another contact to the patient.
Yes,
And people
exactly.
forget it's so important for marketing. It's
Yeah.
like it's a free flyer. It's got your logo. It's got your address on it. It's got your contact number on it. It's in their inbox. It's like another contact to the patient that shows you're caring, you're trying to support them, and they've got your contact details.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I know we both advise this.
Yeah,
I always say to them, don't just email it, print it off,
print it.
give it to them. I
Yeah,
know it's
always
paper,
print
but
them. We print
always, because
thousands of them.
when Bob goes down the pub and shows it to
Yeah,
Dave, who
yeah,
knows? That's a recommendation, and he can
yeah,
see details to book in with you on uh, the exercise sheet.
yeah.
Um, and I always go a step further and I go stick it on, tell them to stick it on their fridge.
That's
Number
my
one.
mum sticks hers on a cupboard in
Yeah,
the kitchen.
yeah. Because who knows, Auntie Mabel comes around for a cup of tea and she says,
Yeah.
"What's this then?"
It's just getting you out there. It's another way to get your clinic out there. And it's just all these little things. You start sort of putting them out, sort of putting them out into like a sort of spider web. And it just trickles patients into you.
It
So it's
does.
really important. Now you're doing a retreat. I want to hear all about this retreat you're doing. Is it in Wales?
It is. It's pretty much on the Welsh border where I'm from, Shropshire. So
Oh, so it's not, is that
uh,
North Wales, is it?
it's kind of, yeah, it's heading towards mid Wales really, but
Yeah.
Oswestry, which is the northern part of the county of Shropshire, but it's right there. It's I was born a bit further down that border, if you like, but it's fabulous because you've got the Welsh and the English mixed.
Mm.
We had Mr. Phillips across the road from our farm, and he was out and out Welsh. It's lovely for you, isn't it? As he brought his cows in at 5 a.m. every single morning of his life, God love him. And I think one of my legs is Welsh actually. I'm about a quarter, I don't know, about a quarter Welsh, I think. Anyway, I love it over there. I left when I was 21 to come to London for a year or two and then go back and marry a farmer, as you do. And I never did go back. Love
Instead, you found Dave,
Van
and
Dave, yeah.
and now you're in England.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
what's the date of your retreat then?
it's the 20th to the 23rd of March.
Mm,
It's in a beautiful venue, very luxurious. Going to be lots of local home cooked food, and I wanted it's called Reclaiming Balance because I know often clinic owners are pushed to the edge with everything they've got to do. And then there's the kids, and then there's the partner, and then there's everything else, school
mm,
runs, and
mm.
it adds up. And I've been thinking about doing it, and I went on one myself in November. That was particularly intense, and I wouldn't want to do that to clinic owners because I think they've got enough intensity in life. But I did come back feeling quite transformed and awakened and enlivened and ready to start planning for 2026. So I thought I would do something which was business focused, but also on rest and reset as well, a bit of balance. So some business stuff, planning forward for the year, and some going for a swim or getting out in nature or reading a book by a fireside or and something like that. So I want a mix of that, and in fact, one of my favorite girls, she replied to one of my emails and said, "Oh, I'm doing a 3 month course and it's going to overlap, and I don't want to overdo it because I'll overwhelm myself." And I'm like, "Oh no, we don't want that." I said, "I quite understand. That's absolutely fine. If you just wanted to come and sit by a fire and read your book or go for a walk and just have some time off and have some gorgeous food and some nourishment and some Gilly hugs, then just do that within
Everyone
two."
wants a Jilly hug.
Yeah. Within 2 minutes, she'd signed up. She said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'm in."
Mm.
Which is really sweet because I don't want to put anyone under pressure. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. But I just want it to be a space I can hold, however many want to come. And then, we'll do some work in inverted commas.
It
But
sounds brilliant. Oh, you could
yeah,
definitely use it as CPD, but I wanted to buy it for Kay as a present. But she's off to Australia on the 23rd, which is
oh no.
so it's like, oh no, and she'll be really busy the day before
Yeah,
to
she
the kids.
will.
Her brother's getting married, but hey, if you do another one, just let me know because I'm certain it'd be
I
right up Kay's
will.
street.
Yeah, she'd love that. I
Mm.
think, yeah, just I wanted to make it a nice mix so that people didn't come thinking, "Oh, it's more work I've got to do." And
I think it's great that you've done a rebalance thing because people don't really want to stress themselves out. I think it's like a restoration and
yeah,
you could, recovery, restoration, rebalance. It's really good.
yeah. Well, because when you're the clinic owner or the business owner generally, the buck stops with you, doesn't it? With everything, and then you've got the
Yeah.
same thing with a lot of got kids as well as you do, and it's all that stuff going on as well. You've got to be at parents' evenings and dropping them off
Hmm.
at football and gymnastics and all the rest of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I went through all that
And
myself.
then you've got to send an invoice to
Hectic.
AXA or Bupa,
Yeah.
and you can't find a patient's policy number, and you've got to put in their address and their date of birth, and it's a right faff, and it's the last thing you do at 10 o'clock at night, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Enough already. Yeah.
stress, mm,
Yeah,
headache.
exactly. Exactly. So yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that actually, and just going home for a few days. And
Yeah.
countryside in Shropshire is absolutely beautiful.
Mm,
Yes. Oh, so while we're chatting, Tim, I think you mentioned to me once upon a time a while ago that you were doing a lot of mountain climbing or walking or whatever it is. What are you
yeah.
up to?
Well, I'm crazy. So I
Yeah.
just start with that. I've got a very big challenge. So in April, I will head to Nepal to go and summit Everest.
Mm,
And I'll be doing three mountains. So I'll start with Island Peak, which is around, I think it's about 6,100 meters. And then I will trek with my Sherpa called Gerjan. We will go to Everest Base Camp, wait for a weather window. We'll then summit Everest, all being well. come back down to Camp 3 or 4, then go and summit Lhotse, which is the fourth highest mountain in the world. Again, weather dependent and fitness dependent and health dependent.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 mountains planned this year, and I have set up my own YouTube channel, which is
Oh, fantastic.
exciting. Yeah,
Oh,
which I'll have to share with you, just
yes.
in case anyone wants to try and find it. It's youtube.com/at Tim Hoop Health. Tim Hoop, HOOP Health, which is Hoop is an app I set up for kids activities, and
Huh?
trying to encourage kids to get into activities. So
Yeah.
it's at Tim Hoop Health, youtube.com @Tim Hoop Health. And please subscribe, and you can follow my journey. It's a big deal. I'm full into training right now. I mean, I've run a 14K this morning. I've done an ice bath this morning, which I do every morning.
Oh my
I
word.
run every day. This month I'm going to be running over 500 kilometers just this month. So that's going to be averaging, like, I don't know, 20K a day or something, or 15K a
Dear.
day.
I need a lie
Um,
down just listening to you.
yeah, I mean, it's very a lot of training. Last night I slept at 4,000 meters. So every night for the last 2 months I've been sleeping in an altitude tent, and that will continue for the next 2 months, 2.5 months.
I was going to ask you if you slept on the roof or something, but you got something more
No, just in the spare room.
sophisticated.
So I have a hypoxic oxygen machine which pumps
Wow.
low oxygen into a tent, and I sleep in that. So it's quite tough because as osteopaths, we know the benefits of oxygen and
Yeah.
healing. It's essential for
Oh,
healing in the body.
how did
So
it
when
make
you
you feel,
deprive the
Tim?
body, so
How did it make you feel when you were in there?
pretty rough to start with, but you do get used to it. So it does
Wow.
weird things to the body. I mean, really weird. It's quite a tricky thing. Sleeping at altitude is quite tricky. If anyone's been skiing or been to a high altitude area, it's you get up more often, more in the night, and it's a little bit more. You wake up when you get to altitude, you wake up with a lot of headaches. You get a lot of
Oh,
headaches from inflammation.
wow.
So your body acclimatizes though, and it's got easier and easier and easier. So this morning I woke up after 4,000 meters, maybe slightly more, about 4,500 this morning. Oxygen levels about 13% in the tent, and pulse oximeter was 88. So my saturated oxygen was 88, which
Wow.
is quite good. So anything over 93, 92 is normal. 93, 98 is most people,
Yeah.
98, 99, 100. So as long as I'm over about 80, 85%, I'm happy. So basically, I'm training my body to deal with low oxygen environments.
Wow.
So it's a lot of work, a lot
Gosh.
of fitness stuff, a lot of training, a lot of preparation, a lot of kit. Um, but I'll be raising money for 4 organizations,
Yeah.
one of which is the Osteopathic Foundation.
Nice.
Now, a lot of people still aren't familiar with the Osteopathic Foundation. It's an amazing charity. And I sat on the board for, I think it was 8 years, it might have been 7 years. I was on the board that set up the Osteopathic Foundation when it was taken over from the Osteopathic Education Trust that was created. And the Osteopathic Foundation has spent a lot, I mean, donated a lot of money in grant funding for projects, research projects. We've supported, at least two osteopaths doing PhDs. So we've
Nice.
paid for their PhDs. We have supported, I don't know, probably 50 plus students with grant funding to help them through their studies.
That's
We have increased through investing, increased the baseline amount of money that we have to dish out. So we've invested really, really, really wisely, and through some brokers, and so we're sitting on a pot of money which we can use to donate money to support causes. We've donated huge amounts of money to various universities, osteopathic universities, including UCO. NCORE as well has been a big benefactor from the Osteopathic Foundation. So all of these things have helped promote good work within osteopathy, projects, innovations, and there's been many beneficiaries of that. So I'll be raising money for the Osteopathic Foundation. And if anyone can sponsor, we'd be very, very grateful. Please reach out. justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Everest26. I know that's a bit of a mouthful, but if you search Everest and Just Giving, hopefully I'll come up.
Put it in the show notes.
That'd be great. Yeah, I can send you the link.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, it's a huge, it's a big thing. I'll be away for about 6 or 7 weeks, probably 7
really?
weeks.
As long as that?
Yeah, because the big problem is acclimatizing, and you need to really be acclimatized up to 7,000 meters.
Wow. The things you'll do to get out of school run, Tim.
Yeah, I did a school run this morning, and I actually ran. My school run is when I run.
It's a run.
So this morning I took George to school. I ran to school. He cycled. I ran. So it really is the school run.
Love it. I love it.
That was the start of my 14K run.
Good
So I
heavens.
ran to school with George. He cycled, dropped him off, ran back home, picked up Kay. Kay did 3K with me, dropped her off, answered some emails, went back out and bashed another distance out, joined a webinar, and then now I'm with you.
Having a well-earned sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, good heavens. I don't know how you do it, Tim.
I don't know.
Packing the calories in to sustain that level of activity.
I burned 1,000 calories just on the run this morning. And that's why I drink 2 of these smoothies a day. So this is packed. This has got nettles from the garden.
Yeah.
It's got parsnip, organic parsnip, organic coconut milk, organic banana, organic pear. Packing this with veg.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is putting on weight. I cannot put on weight fast enough. I am calorie loading. I'm on a weight gain diet.
Yeah.
And
you've always been slim anyway, so I guess you're naturally like that. So
I'm naturally slim. Unfortunately, I'd rather have more. And it's a problem that most people, it's the opposite way around. But for me, I'm trying to put on weight. So I'm hoping to go out at 75 kilos. I'm currently 71, 72, because I'm going to lose 10 kilos out there. So on summit day, you'll burn about 10,000 calories. So you burn mega calories because you're in cold conditions.
Yeah.
And you're extremely high intensity, endurance intensity over a long period of time. So the calorie burn is massive. So the weight drops off. I'll be, if I come away losing 10 kilos, I'll be pleased, because I could lose more than 10 kilos.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
No, but I'll lose a minimum of 10 kilos, which is why I need to get to 75.
So you're packing a lot of protein into yourself as well.
Well, I had 6 eggs this morning.
Wow.
I have 6 eggs every morning.
Oh my God.
I ate 6 organic eggs this morning.
I grew up on a farm with chickens and I hate eggs. And the thought of eating 6 every day.
I had 2 breakfasts this morning, 6 eggs. I mean, I have my eggs and I sprinkle my Celtic sea salt on them. Yes, I'm packing in protein, carbs as well, because for endurance athletes, especially ultra runners, marathon runners, you really need high carb load, high carb load. So packing in carbs. And my body hates taking on food. It hates overeating.
Yeah. Yes, it's sort of counterintuitive for you.
Yeah, totally. It's just the body hates it. I'm low on iron. So Dan Collis, some of you will know Dan Collis, osteopath. Dan is the president of the IO. He's an endurance runner. And I was telling him, I said, Dan, I've got heel pain. I've had heel pain every day for the last 9 months. I went for an MRI scan. I had both my ankles MRI'd.
Mm.
Couldn't find anything wrong with my heels. And I was convinced I had stress fractures in my heels. Found nothing wrong. And he said, Tim, have you checked your iron levels? And I went, why? And he said, well, endurance runners get all sorts of problems with iron levels. So I ordered an iron test off Amazon,
Yeah.
checked my iron levels. It turns out I'm low on iron. So I now, because I've been doing so much exercise, it's been reducing my iron levels. So I'm now on iron supplements. Um,
They're not
it's
great.
no. Kay's
Yeah.
been taking them too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, it is what it is. It's endurance events are so interesting. They're coming so big. A lot of osteopaths will be seeing a lot more endurance athletes and ultra runners. It's becoming very widely recorded on social media and the like.
Yeah. So how long will your training program have been in total before you go?
18 months.
Wow, as long as that.
Yeah, and I've run every single day for the last 350 days. Or longer for I've done it. I've done over a year now of running every single day, except twice when I was up a mountain. So I run every day, all tracked on Strava and map my run. I train every day, and yeah, so I've been doing a lot of work.
Wow.
I sparf every day. I do grip training. I do strength and conditioning for uh, video now, um, and ice bathing every day. Did I mention that?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and biking as well, 2 to 3 times a week.
goodness me.
And body's just wrecked. Back's hurting, hamstrings are hurting.
Oh,
I
good.
tripped over a step the other about 8 weeks ago and sprained my ankle mildly, and that took ages to heal. So that cut down a load of my running, which I still ran, but I had to cut it down.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah,
And you having treatment as well?
yeah. I had treatment from a student. We've got a student at the moment who's shadowing us. He did some
Right.
treatment on my hamstrings and quads 2 days ago. But yeah, I see the guys for treatment.
Yeah.
You have to, because your body's just the thing about the body is when you do such intense level of exercise, it's highly likely that you break the body.
Mm.
Like a Formula One car, if you're pushing it at 150, 200 miles an hour, week in, week out, at some point the engine's going to break.
Yeah.
And that's the same with the body. You do adapt, but adaptation is slow. And when you adapt, you need to have a slow increase of intensity or duration or length so that the body adapts. But if you do too much too soon, the body will break.
Mm.
And so injuries are very, very common in runners, elite athletes, endurance athletes, Ironman athletes, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff is becoming a lot more popular, like you said.
It is becoming more popular, accessible, and we're
I
hearing
just
much more about it. So,
lost you there for a moment, Tim. I didn't catch what you said.
sorry, say that again.
I lost you there for a moment. I didn't hear what
Yeah,
you said.
I lost you. It's becoming much more accessible. So people have got more information about doing these endurance events.
Yeah. Amazing.
Mm. So
Wow.
yeah, big changes happening for me. Off to Everest this year. That's happening in about just under 3 months' time.
Yeah. Wow. How exciting. And how long does it take you to go from base camp to the top?
It depends, because at base camp we'll be waiting. What happens is, for about 2 weeks in a year, you imagine at 8,800 meters, it's very, very windy.
Mm.
So you are like, I don't know whether you're in the Gulf Stream or whatever you are, but you're in that sort of those winds that hit the plains. And for 2 weeks of the year, that wind, that those trade winds, whatever they are, stop and reverse.
Uh,
And during that period where the winds stop and change direction, you have a weather window, and it's about 2 or 3 weeks, and that's why everyone tends to go in
Oh,
May, because that's when the winds stop and reverse and change direction. And you during that transition phase, you tend to have better, what's more settled weather and less winds at the top. And so
ah,
that's the opportunity. So you have to wait for the wind. So you can be in base camp 2, 3 weeks. And then when you get the weather window, you go, and you're looking at about probably 4 days to summit from there.
wow.
Um, so you go to camp one, sleep at camp one, camp two, camp three, camp four, summit that night, and then back down to camp two, and then base camp. Top to bottom, probably 6 days, assuming weather is stable. And if it's not, you could be stuck at a camp. But before that, you'll do rotations. So you'll go up to base camp, you go up to camp one, come back down, up to camp two, come back down, sometimes touch camp three and come back down. So it can
Oh,
take a lot longer. So you can be in base camp for 3 weeks in a tent. So bear in mind, there's no accommodation at base camp. You're in a tent. It
oh,
is -degrees. There's no heating. There's no insulation apart from your tent. It is bone chilling cold. I've not been to base camp. It's at 5,500 meters, but I have slept in a tent at very high altitudes, and it's extremely cold. Um, and you don't sleep properly. It's not much fun.
hmm.
Yeah,
You mad, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you got a nice holiday somewhere warm booked for after that, Tim?
No, but I think I'm gonna. I think we'll need to take care of the kids away.
Mm.
Um, Next summer. I mean, God, it's been a cold January so far, hasn't it? Next
Mm.
summer, you need to get away somewhere warm. Glasgow Commonwealth Games happening next year. Hopefully, we'll get some osteopaths involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
So the Commonwealth Games will be going back to Glasgow since first time since 2014. So we had osteopaths in 2014 in Glasgow, and there's a reduced Commonwealth Games this year. So hopefully I'll be involved in that, and that'll be 2 weeks in end of July, beginning of August.
All right. Where's that held?
It'll be all across Glasgow, in Scotland.
Oh, because when you said next year,
Sorry, this year. So
this year.
this summer, we've got Glasgow Commonwealth Games.
Ah, right.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was meant to be in Australia, but they've squabbed it, and it's now in Glasgow in Scotland.
oh, great. Well, that's
Mm.
good news for us. It's over here.
Yeah, yeah. Get some
Amazing.
Osteopaths involved, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I feel like I've been on a big long run with you.
Nah, that's what everyone says when they ask me about training.
Oh dear. I'm the last girl to do running.
Anyone can do it. It's not too late. You can just, most people can run 2K in, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes. And if you imagine you get 2K in 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes of your day and you've done 2K. And when you phrase and when you tell, and I talk to patients about this, and when I say you can run 2K in 15 minutes and it's just 15 minutes of your K and of your time, of your day, and if you do that regularly 3, 4 times a week, you're going to get super fit.
Well, I was one of those that you won't understand any of this, Tim, but at school, PE, last period of the day, cross country running up
Oh,
Ponsonby Hill. Oh my God. Guess who was always last in, back in? Me. Absolutely dreadful. I couldn't run to save my life.
yeah, yeah.
Terrible. I was always the last one waiting to be chosen for the netball
Mm,
game or whatever it
mm.
was because I was so rubbish at catching and everything. I just wasn't my bag.
No,
But
no.
I excelled in the French class and the cookery class and the English class, etc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I hated sports.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not my
But
bag.
walking, and if you're not a runner,
I
you
like
know,
walking. Yeah.
walking's the best. It's such a great thing to do. Um, you know, you may recall on my last podcast, I was saying that we were doing coastal walks.
Oh yeah, right.
And we chatted about it. Yes,
Yeah.
we're now in Barton-on-Sea. So we've walked the whole Kent coast with the kids, whole East Sussex coast, whole West Sussex coast. We're now coming up, almost finished Hampshire. We're at Barton-on-Sea on the south coast. If anyone wants to come along on one of our walks, we'll next be walking in the summer. We do 10, 12, 14K. Kids, you know, we've probably covered about 800 kilometers since COVID.
Wow. Goodness.
It's been amazing. It's been incredible. It's actually one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah. I like to go to the Ruislip Lido we have up the road. It's really nice. And as it happens in my new flat that I'm in now, there's a bus stops outside, takes you to the Lido, drops you off. So I do that. And I walk all the way around. Sometimes we have a coffee, get back on the bus, and it drops us outside the flat again.
Nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
I was up there the other day, and the whole Lido, which is quite a substantial size, is completely frozen over.
Mm.
And I don't recall ever seeing it like that before.
Mm.
It was
It's
well
been
over an inch thick.
really cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I must get back over there and get round it though, because I'm really happy I could walk round
Get
and
the
round.
wetsuit on, and when it opens, get in there.
Well, it's got red flags. You're not supposed to swim in it. So there's all kinds of, you know, things you could catch from swimming in it. However, about 2 weeks ago, when it was still flipping cold, I was walking around with a friend, and we both went, I saw a fella swimming in the Lido. It was perishing cold. It wasn't frozen then, of course, but he was swimming around. And it's like, you know, it's forbidden. The flags, it says big signs, do not swim in the Lido. They used to. They used to do water skiing in it and everything. It's a shame, really, because you know, being just on the edge of London, it's great. In the summer, it's absolutely heaving with people. I won't go there in the weekends at all. But it's beautiful. I'll go and have a chat with the Robin, come back and crack on with some work.
So, Gilly, can I come back on a podcast and talk to the audience about updates on Rehab My Patient in a few weeks? You
most definitely can. We'll get a date in the diary for that, because I'm absolutely curious to know what exactly you've been up to. I know it's going to be fab, but I want to know all about it.
Yeah, great.
Yes, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We've covered a few topics.
Always.
And I will make sure that there's links for people to donate, because that'd
be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time, Tim.
Brilliant. Thank you very much again for having me on, and hello everybody, and goodbye everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Osteo Business Podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe on all Gilly's channels, which can be found in the show notes. Gilly's back soon with more tips, ideas, and strategies to build your thriving practice.